Welcome to the Money Tree Real Estate Investor Podcast, where we learn from real estate professionals across the industry. They will share about how they got into real estate, the big wins they have celebrated, the mistakes they have made along the way, and the advice they have for anyone following in their footsteps. Money really does grow on trees. Hey everybody, it's William Holland here for another episode of the Money Tree Real Estate Investor Podcast. I've got Dr. Alex Tam with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about what you got going on these days.
Yeah. Hey, William, thank you so much for having me. These days it's about working in the practice, doing real estate and loving life and being with the family and sharing our story, right? My journey started 14 years ago. We're out of school and have had a practice now for 14 years. So about 2018, I attended a Grant Cardone Conference, trying to see, hey, what's this 10X all about, right? And from that conference, we learned about syndication in real estate, invested in our first deal, have invested as a limited partner, which is really you're just writing a check, and getting some great income. In 2021, we decided, my wife and I, that we wanted to have more skin in the game and we wanted to do more active real estate. So that's where we joined an amazing group called Jake and Gino, learned how to buy right, finance right, and manage right. And in the whole year of 2022, got into multiple GP, general partnership deals, blessed enough to meet amazing people. And with that, we rolled into a few joint venture deals as well. So that's where the blessings have been. And it's been a phenomenal year in 2022.
Yeah, I love that so much. So you mentioned you are a medical practitioner. So you're a chiropractor, I understand?
A chiropractor by trade, and we have a medical office. It's a healthy way of treating pain, a natural way of treating pain, and we also help other business owners find virtual assistants to help them grow their practice. I mean, really, I do three things. I transform patients' lives through natural healthcare. We find and help other doctors, especially, achieve financial freedom through multifamily real estate. And we help businesses grow with virtual assistants.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a lot of scaling right there. I like that a lot.
That's it.
Yes, sir. That's cool. So what have been some of the biggest lessons that you've learned so far in the first couple of years of being in real estate?
The biggest thing that we've learned so far, the education. The education's huge. You can't replace the education. And we've got phenomenal education in our Jake and Gino community and the mastermind group, MIH Mastermind. And when I first started real estate, I thought, you know what, we're going to go into this actively, but it's just my wife and I. We're just going to do things on our own and see where it goes. Within the first 2 weeks, we realized that real estate is a team sport. We didn't know real estate was a team sport. And we were told there's different roles. I said, right. Oh, there's different roles. What do you mean there are different roles? Oh, there's people who are investor relations, asset management. You've got the boots on the ground. I had zero clue about those terms and what those terms even were. So then we just started building relationships. And what I've realized is relationships, it's where it's at. I mean, the deal has to make sense, but the key part in any deal is the relationship among people who are operating the deal, no doubt.
Definitely. So I know you've invested as a limited partner in several deals and also as a general partner and done some joint ventures. So tell us about the different markets that you're invested in and what you see as benefits to those areas.
Yeah. The markets that we're in is in the South, Texas, right? We love the Midwest. Texas is great. The Southeast is great. We tend to stay away from, as of right now, the West Coast. And earlier you were talking about the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, we're not touching that.
Yeah.
Neither are we touching the Atlantic Northeast, right? So, and the reason because is you got to be in a location where population is growing, jobs are growing, people want to be there, right? And where it's also landlord friendly, right? Where it's not, hey, in California, you can squat for 2 years, 5 years and don't have to pay rent and you can't kick nobody out. And if you kick somebody out, you got to give them like 6 months free rent.
Wow.
It's something crazy like that. It could be a little exaggeration, but hey, certain states, 30-day notice, 60-day notice, and then they're out. They're done, right? So you got to look at the advantages. And in the long run, being active now, our responsibilities is that we're bringing other investors on board as well. And when you bring other people on board, you have to make sure that they are in the right deal. You're taking people's hard-earned money and helping them invest and guiding them, and teaching them. Is it a good one or not, and why? So it's important. We have to do our due diligence. It is our responsibility to make sure that we do it right.
Most definitely agree. So that's one of the things that you talk about. It's definitely a team sport. You can't really do it well by yourself. Maybe on a small scale, but obviously, we want to keep growing and being able to help more investors. So what are some of the things that you get to talk about, with high income earners like doctors, practitioners, and ways of not only like sustaining their wealth, but growing it over time and creating generational wealth?
Well, what I tell them my story. Hey, we all worked hard. We went to school in medicine and, dentistry, chiropractic to help people. Well, the school teaches us to help people. They don't even teach us the business side of things. Now that we figured out some business side of things, what are we supposed to do with it? Do we just put it in the bank? Some people say, well, go buy fancy cars, enjoy life, right? But yeah, you could do that. Or, do you want, some people love doing that. And I'm not smashing on people who love materialistic things. But if you're always taking your earned income to support your life, there's no doubt you have to work into your 50s, 60s, and 70s because we're addicted to the shiny object syndrome. Or you can take the money that you've earned, live a modest lifestyle, good lifestyle that you and your spouse and your children are okay with, and invest the rest. And let your money invest themselves and have babies. Right? Let
That's
your money
funny.
have kids.
Yeah, right.
Let your money have kids so that you let your money, who can make money, you take that money and you go buy all your stupid stuff because it's passive. You're not earning income, right? And the ultimate goal, what's the ultimate goal of wealth? Is so that your passive income as an investor exceeds your living expenses. Where, you know what? If you can drop everything that makes you actively earn income and say, hey, I can still sustain my lifestyle. That's financial freedom. See, so that's what I strive to achieve myself and help other doctors strive and achieve as well. That was actually our goal for 2022. And, we're there. So.
Yeah, I love that, man. Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, right?
Yeah,
When
exactly.
everyone's buying super fancy stuff, you're not. And we still get to live a great life. Don't get me wrong. But you got to keep your regular monthly expenses in check. Some people like to look like they're living large all the time when they're not, right? Some people, hey, they can have tons invested and still live modestly. So it's up to you what kind of lifestyle you're okay with.
Definitely, yeah. And I kind of live that same lifestyle. I make my lunch, I cook a lot of meals at home, I meal prep during the week, save money, from eating out, and it also makes me healthier. And I've got a car, I've owned it for 5 years. It gets great gas mileage, it's paid off, and I can go buy another one if I want to, but it's like, man, like why do I need to do that,
Right.
Just take that money and keep investing in real estate, and then I can go buy whatever car I want to. Eventually.
Exactly. I think a quote that I really love from Grant Cardone, he says, pay the price now so you can pay whatever price later. Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in for just a second.
Let it sink in for a little bit, right? Pay the price now so you can pay whatever price later.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I've talked to several doctors as I've started, trying to raise capital and close deals and all those things. And what I found, a lot of them, they've already got somebody that they trust, and they're like, well, I don't want to talk about that. Like, I have somebody that manages my money, and I don't ever look at it, don't ever think about it. And, I'm just like, man, like, to me, that's just a little bit scary,
It is scary. And a lot of it comes to ignorance and not knowing. A lot of high income earners, doctors especially, we're great at our craft, right? We're great at treating patients, but we're not great at taking the money that we earn and putting it somewhere that really matters. For example, most doctors don't know that if your significant other is a real estate professional,
rep
that
status.
The cost segregation from the depreciation of your investments can write off their own income and depreciate and minimize taxes. Now, I'm not a CPA, right? So, but here's the thing. Most people don't even know if that concept exists, but all they do is they rag on people who don't pay as much taxes, not knowing that this is completely legit. Most real estate professionals pay zero taxes, right? Some of those people in our
I'm going to be one of those people in 2023, Lord willing.
There you go. You can make a lot of money and yet not pay taxes. Well, most people can't wrap their minds around how that works. See? But when you talk about it on a one-on-one basis, most people think, financial advisor, they're great. You just give them their money. You hope that they make babies with it, with your money, right? But they have zero control of where it goes, how it works. They have no clue. And those are the guys that could be working until they're 60, 70 because they have to. Not because they want to, but because they have to. That's the thing. Is I don't want to have to. I love it. I love doing it because I get to do it, not because I have to do it.
Right. That changes things so much.
Completely changes things. No doubt.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's where I want to be in life too. I'm a believer in Jesus, and it's, just super important to me, like not only to be able to provide for my family, when I get married and have kids, I want to help them have like a healthy and stable lifestyle. But, I'm also giving back to the homeless community. That's one of my passions. And, if I'm able to make enough passive income, I can work, like you're saying, a couple of days a week, and I can go serve a day. Like that'd be kind of like my life by design, my dream life, to be able to serve and give back more.
Give back, right? You love taking care of the homeless. I love kids who are in need of school supplies, because you got to give them a chance, right? I mean, here's the thing. You believe in God. God didn't put us on this earth to just get by, right? God put us on this earth to be great. We have the capabilities to do it, but a lot of times it's the 6 inches between our ears that's keeping us from being great.
Yeah, fear.
And
That's
the
fear is one of those big ones.
fear, right? But what are we afraid of? You ever heard fear is false evidence appearing real? That's what fear is. False evidence appearing real. Nothing more than that. And most of the time, we have to unlearn what has been ingrained and branded in our brains from the start of our childhood. See? So, all that baggage, right?
Passive investors in real estate are able to receive a check every month. Some people call that mailbox money. We say money really does grow on trees. Visit the website at biggerpictureholdings.com, where we have a ton of free resources to help you learn more about planting your very own money tree.
Definitely, yes, sir. So what are some of your goals for 2023 in real estate?
2023 in real estate is we want to maximize our potential and learn how to raise capital. But when I talk about raising capital, it's more about educating other doctors. What's the possibility out there? You see, and take away the ignorance that sometimes financial advisors want us to have, right? Most financial advisors, I gotta say, the ones I've met, rather have you be ignorant. They rather us doctors be not knowing what we're really investing in. They throw complicated terms, right? They say, oh yeah, just put it in this one. This one grows at a rate of whatever percent. And they don't explain anything. And because finances can seem so confusing to most people, they're like, I don't even want to know about it. Just let it make babies.
Here's my money.
Here's my money. Right? But where's it going? You don't know. You have zero clue. I've talked to doctors, and most of them don't even look at their financial statement and where their money is at more than once a year. When do you look at, my year-end report? That's it? What do you even do with it? I don't know. Shred it? What do you do with it?
Yeah.
So I would love my fellow doctors who are listening out there that we worked hard for our degree. We work hard for our patients. We work hard for what we earn and putting food on the table and the home that we have. Let the money that you've earned also work hard for you. And that's ultimately what I want more doctors to understand, that there's a possibility out there. You don't just have to unknowingly give your money to somebody who doesn't know where you don't even know. It's not tangible, right? The volatility between the market, people got slammed this last year in 2022. Right? You talk to anyone who was raving about the market at the beginning of 2022, you talk to them today, it's a different conversation. Right? So, hey, real estate's been pretty great for us. And
exactly,
we've had some cost segregation. So
yes, sir. So that's one thing I would say too is, if you listen to Warren Buffett, because I've made money in the stock market, and I've taken my money out, that's more aggressive than what I would recommend most people do. Like, I'm going all in on real estate. And I think it's wise, to have diversification across stocks and, different assets as well. But Warren Buffett says to purchase stocks right, you need to understand the stock, the business that you're purchasing. You need to understand the industry and the sector. And I mean, most people can't do that, but real estate is a different thing. Like, real estate is a business model I think anybody can understand, whether they have the time to really dive in deep, that's a different story, but anybody can understand the business of real estate. Right. Especially multifamily. Multifamily is easy. Like, almost everybody's lived in an apartment at some point in their life. You get it. It makes so much sense to me.
And you can relate it. It's tangible. And it makes sense. Everyone needs a place to live. right? We need food, clothes, and a place to live. So, hey, I just choose to a place to live.
Definitely, yes, sir. So the last two things, man. First, if you have a lesson that you've learned or a loss or mistake that you wish you would have done differently with real estate so far, I'd love to hear that, or just something else that you've heard that you'd like to share with the listeners. And to close things up, just want to celebrate, some of your biggest accomplishments so far as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the mistakes first. One of the mistakes that we've learned is not doing our full diligence on property management, because property management can seem such like a boring thing, right? No one's excited about managing a property, but acquiring the property, finding boots on the ground is one part. Financing, getting investors is another part. That gets you from contract to closing.
Right.
The moment the property closed, the operation of the property is what really is going to help that property make money. So if you don't have the right property manager in place, and there was a point where we had to change property managers because, and this is early on, we were told, oh, this is how they operate, and we were learning this is how the game goes. Then we realized, no, they can't choose the rules of how we play. If we want reports a certain way or a certain date, not a month later,
right?
That's what we require for property management, right? So doing your due diligence, I would say, always have an expectation, clear expectation with your property management, and always inspect what you expect. Inspect it, right? Trust, but verify. See, so that was one of the mistakes that we made that we quickly turned around and, learned. A success that we've had is meeting the people. Folks out there, you're not going to do this alone. You want to get into the real estate game actively. Heck, passively, you got to know people. Passively, people have to know who we are. We got to get to know who they are. We got to be able to sit down and chat and see if our values align, right? But actively, that's so important. A good operator can take a crappy, potential-filled property and make it profitable and make it shine. A bad operator can take a good, profitable property and turn it into the slums, right? So relationships and getting to know people, go to events, guys. I've been to average about one seminar a month in 2022. And it's going to continue in 2023, right? Go say hi to people. Don't be shy. And start by doing calls and honing in on relationships, because relationships is who you know, but also who knows you as well. And don't shy away from the social media game. Social media is here to stay, guys. Right? And right, William, and it's here to stay.
Oh, it's here to stay.
It's not going anywhere. So one of the successes that we've had is we have a phenomenal virtual assistant team where they're able to help me take content that we've created and share it with the rest of the world to allow my voice to be amplified on different avenues. And I have to thank my whole team for that and the relationships they have helped me hone in on.
Yeah, I love that, and I could say the same thing. I've got several people helping me, produce these podcasts and help me with some social media input and output. And it's all about team,
That's it.
As we started off the episode with.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, Alex. I really enjoyed getting to share your story today.
Thank you so much, William, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Like and subscribe below. A new episode will air every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Are you looking for more content? Visit our website, biggerpictureholdings.com. And remember, money really does grow on trees.